Hello and welcome to JOGA. Boat pose, Navasana. I want to explain how we get into boat pose. A lot of it is to do with using your whole body as opposed to just lifting your legs up, which a lot of people think. And it's also about the transferring of weight so that your weight isn't too far forwards and therefore your legs feel really heavy and you can't get them up. I'm going to show you some modifications as well while you're learning to get into the pose, and you don't always have to go for those straight legs. So let's start in a seated position. We're just going to take our feet a little bit forwards, just bring the feet together. And to begin with, I like to just bring the hands behind the thighs. And this is a really good starting point because you can use this just to energize and lift your chest. Trying to maintain that as much as you can. Drawing the belly in, a little zip up at the pelvic floor will really help as well. Now at the moment I'm on my sitting bones, so I'm just going to take myself slightly off my sitting bones, so I'm more on my tailbone. And then here I'm just going to lift my heels, so I'm still on my toes on the mat, and I'm just going to pull against my thighs again to just remind myself to lift the chest. Now at the moment all my weight is a little bit far forwards, and so if I was to try to come into the pose here, my feet would feel heavy. So again, we're going to transfer that weight slightly further back, just really slowly. Keep the engagement, keep the lift, until your toes start to feel light. And when they get to the point where they're light and they just float an inch, this might be the place where you stay today. But then eventually you want to start to keep moving, transferring the weight back a little bit. Really take your time to bring the shins more parallel with the floor. Squeezing the feet and the knees together. Again, just pulling against those thighs to lift the chest, keep the belly engaged. And eventually you might find that, okay, I've got balance and I can stay here for a bit. You might be able to release your thighs and take your hands forwards towards your ankles, reminding yourself to keep lifted in the chest here. And then eventually you might want to explore, maybe trying to extend one leg and then the other leg. Remember to keep breathing. If you feel any discomfort in your back anytime, or it just doesn't feel right, then go back to knees bent to begin with. And then to come out, engage the belly, start to transition the weight forwards again, keep the belly switched on so you have control to bring the feet back to the mat. And you might just want to counterpose that and give yourself a nice hug in. Now, what tends to happen with boat pose, people think about getting those legs up by using the thighs, and then the legs become really heavy. And so really, when I talked about the full body pose, you want to think about drawing the belly in and lifting from underneath your rib cage so that you're using your psoas, your pair of muscles, part of your hip flexors, to help support and get those legs up. Not just thinking about the thighs and getting the legs up and they'll feel super heavy. And once you get the belly, your core involved, your psoas and your hip flexors, as well as your thighs, and you work all of that together, then the legs start to come up. But think about transitioning that weight back as well really helps. Anyway, practice. Hope that really helps you with your boat pose. Thanks for watching. Namaste.